jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock, jingle bells chime in jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is the swell time.
Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 236 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. The team today consists of Brotherhood member Cormac, who has brought the Rome Julii faction. And then we have Brotherhood member Uther, who has also brought the Rome Julii faction. I thought with us getting a little bit too closer to Christmas, I would have a little bit of Christmas intro music, and I hope you enjoy it. This should be a good short battle for you to watch, a midweek battle. And here is the other team. We have RTW player Hannibal Barker, who has bought the Rome Scipio faction, and RTW player Great General, who's also bought the Rome Scipio faction. At this very early stage of the battle here, you can see that Uther has run his old school cavalry general forward there, and also the Scipio general has moved a cavalry unit forward. As you can see there's a bit of a close-up of the two cavalry units fighting there. As you can see, the RTW player Hannibal Barker has brought his Scipii army forward there in an aggressive move. If you notice here, can you see that Uther is moving a unit in Testudo into one of the Scipii players' forward pilot shield units there. Do you notice how that Testudo unit is slowly moving forward there? And there we have the Samnite Gladiators. I believe Uther is probably the only 31k player that I know that actually brings Samnite Gladiators. Should be interesting to see how well they do against elite urban cohorts. Here's a little bit more of a close-up of the fight in there. Looks like Uther has taken that one unit out of Testudo there. So right from the beginning here, it looks like on Uther's flank there's a lot of aggression going on. On the other flank there, on Cormac's flank, you can see that the enemy Scipii general there is attacking with cavalry. I think he just counter-attacked Cormac's cavalry there. But there certainly is a lot of cavalry over on this flank now. And it should be interesting to see how well both teams use their cavalry in this battle. It's unusual for me to put on a 2v2 battle, but it's only a short midweek bonus battle, so I thought I'd just put a 2v2 on for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. As you can see there, Uther's just charged two of his cavalry units into the engaged Scipio units there. He didn't rout them, but my guess is he caused a lot of casualties there, so maybe if that unit gets hit again, it may well rout. As you can see, those Samnite Gladiators are still fighting. I think there's only about 21 of them left now, and they're pretty well surrounded by the enemy elite urban cohorts, but they're still fighting well, causing lots of casualties there. As I say, I think Uther is probably the only 31k player that I know that actually brings Samnite Gladiators. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do against those elite urban cohorts there. And they're still fighting away now, but I think there's only about 6 or 7 of them left now. But they're still killing enemy troops. So as I say, at the end of the battle, it might be interesting to have a look at the Uther's kill statistic to see how well those Samnite Gladiators did in this battle here. I think in a lot of 2v2s, cavalry can be very important when you charge them in, making sure that you hit the right targets, and if you use properly, cavalry can be an extremely effective unit to use. I know they can be effective in any battle, but in 2v2s especially, it seems quite important to get the cavalry tactics right. If you notice here, Cormac's moving his infantry closer to Uther's there. Can you see one of Cormac's units in Testudo there just got smashed by the the Scipio cavalry caused a lot of casualties there to that testudo. And if you notice by that testudo, not many Scipio cavalry were killed there, but a lot of the Julii cavalry were. Meanwhile, back over onto Uther's flank here, you can see that RTW player Hannibal Barker is being extremely aggressive with his infantry and really attacking Uther's line. But if you notice that because all those Scipio units are engaged now, you lose the depth of the formation, if you see what I mean. And one good heavy cavalry charge into those units, if you started to rout some of those units, you could actually probably go straight through and out the back, if you see what I mean. Nice counter move there by the Scipio cavalry general there. But as I say, apart from the Scipio general, all its units appear to be engaged. And as I say, they are quite thin. They've lost the depth there. And as I say, one good, heavy, concentrated cavalry attack might be a smash right through them. But once again, the Scipio cavalry are starting to counter-attack Uther's cavalry hit there. Meanwhile, over on the other flank, on Cormac's flank, you can see there's not a lot going on at the moment. I see that the Scipio player's got a lot of his units in testudo, which usually means he's going to stay pretty defensive, pretty static there, which enables Cormac to be able to move his cavalry around the battlefield and kind of hands the initiative to Cormac there. Right, there's Uther charging his cavalry, and again, as I say, that Scipio line is looking quite thin. If you notice that Uther's line still got quite a bit of depth in it. In his the main part of his army, but the Scipio attacking troops there, as you can see, they are quite thin. And as I say, maybe if Uther persists with those cavalry hits, he could punch a hole through that thin Scipio line there. You notice Cormac sent a couple of cavalry units over to assist Uther there. A nice bit of support. Let's just pause again for a second to take stock of exactly what's happening. As you can see, there's a lot of Scipio cavalry and Julii cavalry still left on this flank. But as I say, there seems to be quite a few casualties on the enemy Scipio side here. And their line is extremely thin, as we've said earlier. Meanwhile, on the other flank, you can see that the Scipio team there, the actual player's army there, has still got quite a bit of depth in his formation there, and seems to be doing better on this flank than what his teammate is on the other flank there. Nice aggressive hit there with that Scipio cavalry, but I noticed that Cormac's counter-attacked, and there we go. Can you see Uther going in there, full attack, and he's probably looking to pierce that line. He's probably looking to break through that line there, which he's done now. And as I say, that Scipio line was so thin that one good concerted heavy cavalry hit would probably pierce it. And as you've seen there, that's what happened there. The Uther's cavalry has just pierced that, and has caused a lot of casualties of this Scipio army there. As you see, Uther's got his Eagle unit near his infantry, giving them support and morale support there. Meanwhile, over on the other flank, you can see that Cormac is attacking there the enemy Scipio player, and he's moving his cavalry units over there. And my guess is that now that Uther will start bringing his infantry, his army over from the victorious flank that he was on, to come over and support his teammate there. You see that Scipio cavalry charging straight in. It looks like he's going for Cormac's general there. It'd be interesting to see if he manages to kill him or rout him there. But if you notice that Cormac's taking units around the flank, as you can see there's Uther bringing his victorious infantry over to this flank now to help his teammate Cormac. If you notice there, a lot of the Scipio troops are surrounded, and if you notice that Uther's charging his cavalry in, and bang as that cavalry hits. Because those Scipio troops were kind of surrounded, their morale would have been low, and then the impact of that cavalry hit would have just finished them off and routed them. So that was a nice little combination attack there by Uther and Cormac. If you can see, some of the Scipio, blue Scipio cavalry have charged back in again, but there's only a few of those units left, and they look pretty battle damaged to me. Let's say Uther's now bringing his victorious units over from that flank. There's the Scipio units in Testudo there. He's just pulling them out of Testudo now to start fighting. Looks pretty even over that side, but here can you see that both Cormac and Uther still got their generals left, so they're still giving their troops morale there, the morale boost. And if you notice that Uther's brought a legionary first unit in behind the fighting enemy troops. Once again, that Eagle unit giving morale bonus to the Julio troops. And there's a lot of and there's the Scipio general died now. Now the morale of the troops that he's got remaining will drop, and as you can see now, it looks like Uther and Cormac's going on to win this battle. Let's say it's only a quick midweek bonus battle here, just a 2v2. I thought it was quite a good action battle there. Let's say I don't put many 2v2s on, so I thought it was a little bit different as well. First thing I'd like to say is really well played to both armies there, both teams, really well done. I thought Hannibal was very aggressive with his Scipio troops, but maybe he was over-aggressive there, kind of overconfident. And if you look at Uther's kills, bearing in mind that was only a 2v2 Rome v Rome battle, they were very good. Right, let's have a look at Uther's kills, because I'd like to have a look at those Samnite gladiators. Right, can you see right on the bottom, Samnite gladiators? The whole unit of 40 men were killed, but look at the casualties they caused. 111 kills for 40. So I think that goes to show how tough those Samnite gladiators are. You look at Uther's kills with his units there as well. His other kills there, very good. But those Samnite gladiators, I think, were quite impressive, and you don't see them very often. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this midweek bonus battle. His Spartan Commander saying bye for now.